Hey crocheters, I've got a fun blanket swatch for you. This is called the Flower Blossom Blanket, and you can use this to make stripes in any blanket, or you can just repeat the pattern over and over to make a great big blanket. This pattern uses a few interesting stitches and textures in order to create this flower stitch. We've got kind of a flower stem and then some petals and flowers up at the top. And I repeated that 2 times to get this. We've got some double crochets, front post double crochets, back post double crochets, flower stitches, and then kind of like a granny stitch up at the top. A mixture of a bunch of fun different stitches to get the flower blossoms. This beautiful pattern is featured in the Blossoming Blanket Cal hosted by Knitting with Chopsticks. A bunch of us designers got together and we all designed different kind of flower themed sections for this blanket, and it has turned out beautifully. For more information on that Cal, click the links below. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to teach you how to do the Flower Blossom Blanket. Quick rundown of this, we are going to start with a foundation row of single crochet stitches, and then we're going to be doing 3 double crochet rows. There's going to be a double crochet strictly. Then we're going to do a row of some double alternating front post double crochets. And then the 3rd row is we're going to be doing back post double crochets on those front post double crochets we just did. And then we're going to be switching to more of this flower stitch. This one is would be similar to like a jasmine stitch or daisy stitch, star stitch, something like that, using double crochet stitches. And then we're going to repeat it. Okay, so that was just a quick rundown of it. Let me just show you how to make it up. I started out with a foundation row of 18 single crochets. So I did 19 chains, and then in the second chain from your hook, did a single crochet, and then each chain across. You want to do any multiple of 3. Okay, so for like a big blanket, maybe you want to do 180 stitches. You know, baby blanket, you would do smaller than that. I mean, you could do 99 stitches, just as long as it's a multiple of 3. You want to have that many single crochets. When you're done with that foundation row, so that was the right side, and now we're going to flip our work and do the wrong side of the work. Oh, this next row is going to be double crochet. So instead of chaining 3, I'm going to do a stacked single crochet stitch. I just think it looks nicer. So to do that, I'm not going to chain anything. I'm just going to insert my hook through that first stitch, pull up a loop, and go through 2. So that's just like a single crochet stitch. Now, in that same stitch that I worked, I'm going to go through that like slanted leg bit right there. I'm going to go through that, insert my hook, and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So like a single crochet through that slanted bit. And that heightens my work a bit without leaving an awful gap like a chain 3 would do. Okay, so that's a stacked single crochet. Then I'm going to do a double crochet stitch and each stitch across. So this is US turns. I'm going to yarn over, insert hook, go through 2, and go through the last 2. So US double crochet. Do that all the way across. In the end, including that stacked single crochet, you will have 18 double crochets. Okay, when I get to the end of my work, I like to turn it so that my working yarn is to the back. And that way, when I do my stacked single crochet, which I'm going to do here, stacked, stacked, okay, that acts as a double crochet. And now we're going to do a 3-stitch repeat, okay? So that doesn't include it. We're going to start it right here. We're going to do a front post double crochet. So I yarn over, and this is the next stitch I'm going to work with, and I'm going to do a front post double crochet. If you don't know what that is, we're going to work the stitch not on the top here, but we're going to do around the post, or basically, you see how that double crochet is kind of like a fence post or something. You're going to insert your hook from the front to the back, and then kind of loop around that post, hug it, so that your yarn goes to the other side. Then you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Kind of pull this up so it's going to be elongate your stitch a little bit. Otherwise, your work gets a little bit scrunched. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops like a double crochet. Yarn over, pull through those last two. So it's a double crochet, but just hugging that post stitch right there. Okay, so front post double crochet, and then a double crochet in the next two stitches. So double crochet, and then a double crochet in the next stitch. So we're going to repeat that across, where we're going to do a front post double crochet. So yarn over, and then hug that post, front post, and then finish the double crochet stitch, and then two double crochet. One in each stitch. Front post, double crochet. This kind of creates the stem of the flower for our flower blossom. Okay, front post. Oop. Split my yarn a little bit. And then two double crochet. So repeat that all the way down your work. And then we do that until two stitches remain. For the last two stitches, we're going to front post double crochet, and then in the last stitch, do a regular double crochet. Okay, then turn the work, making sure your working yarn is to the back, because we're ready to start row 4. This is the wrong side of the work, and we're going to start it with a stacked single crochet in that first stitch. So single crochet, and then in that leg here that's furthest to the left, do a single crochet. So stacked single crochet, and then we're going to do once again a 3-stitch repeat. This is going to be similar to row 3 where we did the front post and then 2 double crochets, but here we're going to do a back post double crochet. So a back post double crochet is similar to the front post, but okay, so here's the stitch we worked. It's kind of hiding back there. If you flip your work, you can see that's the front post. So yarn over. If it was front post, would go from front to back and hug it, and then you have the post like in front of your hook. But that's not what we're doing for this stitch. For this one, we're doing a back post double crochet. So we're going to go to the back of the work, in from the back to the front, and then hug the post on the wrong side. Okay, you see you can't see the post, you just see the hook. Flip it over, you can see you're hugging that. So that's a back post. Pull through, and then finish the double crochet. Okay, and then you'll see when you flip the work that all that is raised back there. Okay, and then follow that with a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then repeat. So yarn over, and then we're going to do a back post where we go behind the work, go up, and hug that post to the back. And oop, and double crochet. Okay, 2 double crochets, and repeat that across. When there's 2 stitches remaining, you're going to do a back post double crochet, and then a double crochet in the last stitch. Turn your work so that the working yarn is to the back. And now we're ready for row 5. Row 5, we're working on the right side. You can tell it's the right side because your flower stems, those post stitches, are pointing up. We begin how we've begun all of our other rows with a stacked single crochet. And now we get into the fun part. We are going to be doing what I call the flower petal stitch. Okay, so this is the flower petal stitch, and basically we're working double crochet 5 together. We're going to be doing 5 partial double crochets across 3 different eyes of the work. So that'll make sense here as we go along. I'm going to try to go slow for you so that you understand. So in our first stitch, we did a stacked single crochet. Now we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, and that is going to be right on top of that front post stitch. So just a double crochet in the top of that one. And now we're ready for our flower petal stitch. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to insert the hook through the first chain, the one that's furthest from the hook, the first chain that we made. Okay, that is going to be the first eye that we're going to work a double crochet in. Okay, so we're going to do a partial double crochet. You yarn over, insert your hook through that first chain, or the first eye, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. If we were doing a full double crochet, we would yarn over and pull through these last 2, but we're just doing partial, so we're not going to finish the double crochet, we're going to stop there. So that's one leg of the double crochet 5 together, okay? Now we're going to yarn over and do the next 2 legs, and we're going to do that at the base of the double crochet we made. Our second stitch, remember, was a double crochet on top of that front post double crochet. So our next 2 legs are going to be worked on top of that, okay? So we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, that was our second leg, and we should have 3 loops on our hook. Now we're going to start with a third leg. We're going to yarn over and insert our hook in that same eye, or that same space that we just worked in. Insert our hook through there, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we've done our first 3 legs, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on our hook. Now for the 4th and the 5th legs of this petal stitch, we're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and we're going to be working on top of where these front post stitches are, okay, right there. We skip 2 stitches, and we're going to work in this, and we're going to do 2 more legs. So yarn over, insert our hook through that stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops. So that's number 4, and we have 5 loops on our hook. And the 5th leg is yarn over, insert our hook through that same stitch, that same eye, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops. So that's 5, and we should have 6 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through all 6 loops. That is the end of the first flower petal stitch. We're going to be working a flower petal stitch across the work. We're going to pause on our last flower petal stitch because we're going to work that a little bit differently. Okay, so remember, the flower petal stitch starts with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, note before I did, I worked the first leg of the flower petal stitch into the chain 1. Here I'm going to just do a little bit differently because, as you can see, we created this little hole, or this little eye right here. And that's where I'm going to work the first leg of the flower petal stitch, okay? So a partial double crochet. Then we're going to do the next 2 legs of the flower petal stitch into this eye right here. It's on top of that front post stitch, and it's where we worked the last 2 legs of our previous stitch. So legs 4 and 5, our previous stitch, that's where we're going to work 2 and 3. So yarn over right here, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook through that same space, pull up a loop, pull through 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hooks, 4 loops on our hook. And now we're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and it's worked on top of that front post stitch there. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then do that again. Yarn over, insert through that same stitch, pull up, pull through 2, and you should have 6 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 6 of those. That's the end of that flower petal stitch. Now we're going to start the next one by chaining 3, and then the first leg of that flower petal stitch we're going to put through that eye right there that was just made with our chain 3. Then yarn over and work the second and the third legs on top of that front post there, or in that same space where we worked our last 2 legs. Do that again. Okay, now skip 2 stitches, 1, 2. Again, we're working on top of that front post double crochet stitch. Do that 2 times. Okay. I think at the beginning when we're first learning this stitch, it just seems a little bit funky, but maybe by now you know where to put your stitches. Okay, so I just chained 1, 2, 3. I'll show again. Yarn over, insert your hook through that eye right there. That's the first leg. Then the second and third leg go in this eye right here. 2, and then skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and do 4 and 5 right here. Yarn over and pull through all of them. Repeat that across your work when you get to the end and you get to the last one, kind of where I am. We're just going to do the first 3 legs. So we're going to skip leg 4 and 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 chains. Then we'll do our first leg there. Our second and third leg will be here in the same spot that we've been doing it. 3. Then I'm going to skip the 4th and the 5th legs because there's nowhere to really go. And I'm going to yarn over and pull through just those 4 loops that are on the hook. Then I'm going to do a double crochet on top of this last stitch. Double crochet there. Okay, you'll see that your ends are a little bit funky, but as you block it or continue to work or crochet a border around it, those should just even out. Okay, that's the end of row 5, and now we're going to flip our work to the wrong side and do row 6. Next, we're going to do a stacked single crochet to build it up to the height of the double crochet. All right, and now we're going to work 3 double crochets into each eye across. Those eyes that I'm talking about are right here. Okay, here there's not really any eye. You're going to have to skip all the way over there, and we're going to do 3 double crochets in that same eye space. 2, 3. Okay, sort of like that. Now we're going to find the next eye, which is right here, and we're going to do 3 double crochets in there. Do that all the way across, and each eye do 3 double crochets. Okay, once you get to the end and you have this and you're like, okay, where's the eye? That's where we're going to work 1 double crochet into the last 2 stitches. So here's 1 stitch, there's another one. So we just work a double crochet, 1 in each of the last 2 stitches. Okay, so you have a hole there, but that's just fine. And we're ready to flip our work, and I'll show you. This is the front side. Okay, if you're working up a swatch like this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flowers.